Here we go. Want to hear something ironic? Goosebumps raised on the back of my neck as the ring announcer took his spot. Just then, I heard music, thumping, loud, badass music playing throughout the entire building. I didn't know who was coming out or what to expect, but I was ready to let loose and scream for the good guys, ready to secretly flip off the bad guys. I was going to let loose and live carefree, even if only for that moment. Then I saw her. She was strong, gorgeous, intense, everything I wanted it to be and more. Her name was Miss Texas. I didn't know what was about to happen, but she looked mad as a team of hornets. She took the mic and talked about someone who kept sticking their nose in her business, someone who needed to be taught a lesson.
Here, tramp, you better keep your nose clean, because if you get in my business, I will slap the taste out of your mouth.
Whoever that someone was, I was ready to watch her beat the hell out of them because nobody messed with Miss Texas. Nobody. Ooh. Then the next song played. This one sounded cheesy and corny, something like out of an old sitcom. I watched the curtain, eagerly awaiting her victim, and then out walked a man. I still waited, watching the curtain. Was he the manager? Did he have a surprise? No. Just a guy making his way to the ring, telling everyone off in the process. Everyone hated this guy. He was Downtown Bruno. There to cause trouble. Miss Texas would have to answer. As soon as he got into the ring, she hauled off and hit him. I mean, she waylaid him. Knocked him around the ring like her personal rag doll. I was in shock. I felt where I was meant to be. I had read many Greek myths. I was raised up Catholic. I saw where gods did when you angered them. But this was something more. This was a strong woman, outspoken and independent, beautiful in her own right, saying no to disrespect. Where could I sign up? Yes, Miss Texas and Downtown Bruno would end up making their way to WWF. She is Jacqueline and he is Harvey Whippleman. In January 2000, he dressed in drag and win the women's world title, only to have her kick his ass for it for a few days later. And she ended up in the Hall of Fame. I'll always see her as my first role model in wrestling. And despite her being about the size of my right leg, I have loved to have taken her on someday. When the clock don't drop, it don't rewind. Drinking your 40 damn near blind. Love who you love, what's when you need. Be your own man, that's all you can be. I don't give a damn who don't like me. Break my peace, my soul set free. My wrestling career started in true backyard fashion. In our backyard on a trampoline. My ex-brother-in-law, Dusty, would invite his buddies over to film various matches. At first, I was only allowed to ref, as they thought I would get hurt otherwise, but I kept on, like I tend to do, until I annoyed them enough to allow me to participate. Even then, it would be as a test dummy for any moves they wanted to try. Dusty and his friends would watch backyard wrestling videos and want to emulate what they saw. I was smaller than most of them, right? So they could flip, throw, slam me around like they couldn't do to one another.
You said you wanted to talk about the guy.
This one, Tracy? The one in Alabama got stabbed because Tracy?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Tracy? Okay. Let's see. Did you get a picture?
I get it.
You can see it, right? There's like a little Y. Okay. So the best thing Tracy was at was inciting emotion. More so than not. It was an angry, upset, you wanted to kill us emotion. A lot. Tracy was one of the best heels ever. He's the best mouthpiece. And we were in Alabama, and he was pissing them off, tell them they were inbred jackoffs and everything else. He's never coming back, and called some little boy a little girl a little boy. So it was the ugliest little boy he's ever seen. It's this little girl, and she gets crying, and dad gets mad. Anyways, we've got families and family members all pissed off at us. We're backing up, and I've got the stick that Tracy used to carry with the rebel flag on it. I'm like making sure, because as we're backing up, because Tracy is going from the ring back to the curtain, we're not paying attention behind us. We're hoping security's got our back because our front is not being handled very well. As he's talking to the microphone, backing up, talking mad shit, right? Bump into something, and I think it's security, but apparently it was not. And I felt this warm, sharp pain. And I happened to look down and around, and there's something sticking out. And I was like, oh shit. And I look up, and there's this 80-year-old woman standing next to me, mad as hell, going, right? Little bitty old thing. So I don't really want to punch grandma, but I don't know I've never been stabbed before, right? And I'm like, Tracy, I think I've been stabbed, bro. He goes, Mickie Knuckles, because he can never say Mickie. Mickie Knuckles, oh shit, we gotta get back in the ring. Mind you, we're like more closer to the ring or the fucking locker room than the ring. But Tracy, anytime there was a brawl or fans would interact or try to attack us or something, he wanted to go back to the ring. And I knew what it was, because then if the fan got in the ring and Tracy whooped their ass, it's in the ring, right? I knew I eventually, but not with a fucking tool shed weapon sticking out of my rib. So we had to sit in the ring until they cleared out this Alabama, like, whatever this was, a fucking pole barn or something. So everybody was out in the parking lot. The cops couldn't get them to leave because that's how pissed off they were. We were sitting in the ring fucking smoking weed. This is well before DoorDash and all this other shit. So we had to send a young horn to go get food and shit. Because I was like, Tracy, we could have gone into the locker room and snuck out the back. Why did we get back in the ring? He goes, oh, hell, Mickie Knuckles. I don't know. It was in the moment. I was like, once again, I was Isabella that night, and he could not call me Isabella after I got stabbed. He kept calling me Mickie Knuckles. So be careful of the friends you have, I guess. Back in 1970s and 80s, there was an actor named Andy Kaufman. He did a bunch of stand-up comedy. He did a ton of television shows. He was on Saturday Night Live a few times. And he was a regular on the show called Taxi. That a lot of classic channels still rerun today. But I think his wrestling career is more important to him. He had been into wrestling his whole life, and he spent years battling women. Kaufman's physique wasn't going to scare anyone. But he had a gift for heel promos, better than most people even in the business today. The ability to piss off a few thousand people in about 10 seconds. Although his battles with Jerry Lawler would help push wrestling itself into the American culture mainstream, particularly when Lawler whooped his ass on David Letterman's show in 1982, mind you, 2 years before I was born, Kaufman was always more about wrestling women. On the evening of May 16, 1984, Andy Kaufman died of lung cancer. Just age 36. And here's the ironic part. That happened to be the exact day I was born. How strange that I end up be best known for stepping into the ring against men.
Oh, no! Oh, Mickie! Oh, the crowd! Oh! Oh! Oh, my God! Laws with a choke slam on the roof of the car!
Holy shit! Holy shit!
Whoa!
Holy shit!
The queen is here!
Jerking it out. Aggressively, opposite direction. Flavia. Right? But hold on. I wouldn't be the true whore that they say I am if that's where I stop showing you what's on my body, right? Yeah. I mean, for God's sakes, it's not like I do everything these boys do and just a fucking thong and nothing fucking more. And yet I'm not at the top of the fucking mountain, right? Okay.
Yeah, you are.
Woo! Woo!
Deserve it.
You see this one? That one I got impaled in fucking England with a T8. Y'all know what T8s are? Have we heard rumors about T8s in this group? Yeah. Well, hands up, Dutch fans. We know the no-nos of T8s. Yes. It impaled me. I still have glass. Go ahead, touch your shit. Oh, wait. But I have to be more, right? Because you think I do this for fucking attention. Let's just get all the way down to it, shall we? Yeah. Woo! Let's see how much more attention I can get, right? I mean, what are we doing here? We're not fully investigating every every part of my body that I fucking sacrificed just to be accepted in your fucking boys club. But okay, I got you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Is that naked enough for you boys?
No.
Is this good for you? Do you see this? You think I'm electric pony, but the fact of the matter is, I'm fucking steps ahead of you, bro. Let's talk about that one. I almost died. I was sitting in the bed in the hospital room, and they said, Miss Knuckles, do you have a will? A will? What the fuck are you will for? Oh, well, you got 2 infections. One sitting on top of your head, about 16 centimeters diameter. Whatever that fucking word is, right? Traumas.
So, the scar on my leg, here's what happened. The 10-foot T12s are denser than most T12s. Let me explain some psychology and some science here to our deathmatch weapons, okay? T12s are most preferred by Americans because the way they hit, the way they're designed is when they fall out of a ceiling at a factory, because that's what their intended uses for, is lighting in a factory setting. If they fall out and do hit something or someone, they explode on impact, causing less damage. This is the thought process. However, deathmatch promoters and wrestlers alike are not smart enough to get brand new light tubes in. Quite frankly, eventually they won't be able to, as they are starting to phase them out. So we end up with things like the T8s that are used over in England and Australia, quite preferably. Japan uses the T12s, but that's where it's manufactured. The 10-foot T12s, however, are a lot thicker because it has to hold a lot more surface mass. So now we're stuck with this thicker, denser light tube. Not understanding that there was duct tape at the end and there was already a broken piece. I went to set it up because I was wrestling a 3-way match for Matt Tremont for his Angels of Death tournament. And it was me, Sawyer Wreck, and Andy Kaufman for the finals. Sawyer has Kennedy in some kind of submission where she's back bridged. So I take the light tube, the 10-foot bundles, and I think I'm just going to kick them into her vagina. Because that seems like the best idea to do this fucking gargantuan bitch, okay? As I go to put it down, I don't see this piece hanging there. I just don't. And it just slides in like butter. I don't feel it. It goes in. I watched the video back and you see it go in. But because it broke off and I didn't feel it, when I went to kick, a second piece went in and impacted and pushed it further down. So I didn't know about the first piece, but I knew about the second piece because when I looked down, there's a huge chunk of glass sticking out of my leg. Now I'm thinking, my first thought is, the femoral artery runs through your thighs. It's a big risk I take because I wrestle practically fucking naked. I'm okay with it. YOLO. So I watch for a minute. It's not gushing terribly. It's not spouting out like I'm losing an ounce per fucking second. What would Sabu do? I duct tape it up, continue the match. After the match, like during the match, the security, ring crew, even Tremont and his old lady Chrissy were jumping in the ring. They're like, we got to get you out. They're trying to like give me these white towels. I'm like, get the fuck away from me. I have shit to do, okay? Finish the match, go 10 more minutes, get in the back, and Tremont's like, I really need you to go to hospital. Like, I'm not going to hospital. He's like, no, I really want you to go to hospital, please. That looks bad. And I'm like, no, it's fine. It'll heal, right? Because I'm stubborn. I don't like hospitals. And he keeps begging. He's like, I got this hospital. This one hospital I go to here in Philly. Just go to this hospital. So I go to this hospital, right? And they tell me they're not a trauma hospital. They can't do anything about it. I have to be transported from that hospital to the trauma hospital. Guess what I'm not doing is paying $5,000 for an ambulance ride to a motherfucking trauma hospital. That's not fucking happening, okay? Single mom, a 3, and a pro wrestler. We're not doing this, Jib, okay? So I tell the doc, I'm not taking an ambulance ride. And he's like, well, if I trust you, will you drive yourself to the hospital? And I was very honest, and I said, no, I won't. He said, where do you live? I said, Louisville, Kentucky. He said, ma'am, you cannot drive all the way home with the piece of glass that's still in your leg. I said, sir, I have 2 pounds of weed in my car. Do whatever the fuck I want. And right then and there, I think he figured out that if he didn't take it out, then I was gonna leave. It's a sign of AMA, I'm done. So he fingered my hole for quite a bit, and then I told him he had to buy me dinner, and he let me videotape it. Good day.
I remember mine and Tremont's counts together as PAB for CCWWSU. Am I wrong? Did they not count that one? Yes. So this still counts, boys. Check up. The ability for me to be able to do this, and that's what we all do. And it takes some wear and tear on our bodies, but it's still usually. And that's what you truly matter. Let's get it honest. I'm not gonna bow down because you think you're the kings of this fucking industry. I'm not gonna bow down because you think that you hold some kind of gate and key for fucking indies. I don't give a fuck what your fucking 3 initials are, motherfucker. I've gotten here where I am through blood, sweat, and tears. I've done it the honest fucking way, despite every fucking rotten avenue I've had to fucking endure. You can't say this thing. I was in a hurry to get home, and I told that doctor, he took it out right then and there, because I didn't want to be there anyways, because, I don't fucking like hospitals. And if he didn't, I had 2 pounds of weed in my car, and I could do whatever the fuck I wanted to. So, this is the lovely scar that I have. But I did spend my body earning my spots here. That's cool. It's beautiful. I didn't give my chest to anybody that wanted to stab and mutilate it because I just wanted attention to show things right now. I spent my blood and my body earning my fucking spot, and I didn't have to suck somebody else's dick to do it, damn it! So thank you all for letting me convict you. And then I gotta figure out when you got your humor. So this has been a nice time. I'm gonna go upstairs and continue to drink and have a good time, but you won't watch people brutalize each other. And if I lost my clothes, fuck it. What's the other side of pneumonia, right? Aww. Thank you guys.
Never called me stubborn. I'm not stubborn. We're near the end of this book, but not the end of my story. That's still a ways away. A long ways, regardless of how much wrestling is involved. After about 2 decades in hardcore wrestling business, pregnancy timeouts notwithstanding, I know I'm closer to the end than the start of my career. There's not much wax left in the candle that I've been burning from both ends. I've got enough to fall back on elsewhere that I probably could quit, but I haven't, and I don't plan for when I will. Wrestlers are known for having few dozen retirements, but I haven't set my first one, not yet. It'll have to end sometime though, but as I keep saying, it's not over. And as of this moment, I just booked some dates and for a few more deathmatch tournaments. See, even with every match I've had and all the people I've wrestled, usually beaten, all the championships I've won, all the friends I've made, all the enemies I've conquered both in and out of the ring, I still don't feel like I've found my own personal main event. I feel like the high point of my wrestling career is still just above the progress I've made. I'm not sure what it is or where it is right now. I've been down a few paths that no woman has gone to before, at least not as far, and I'll always be proud of that. But the fans still want me. Promoters still want me. Even my opponents, most of them, still like having me in the ring, and I still want to be there.